Guys, it helps with this particular step if you actually turn the air compressor on. Give me a minute. Hey guys, welcome back. So on this one we've got a fairly new Craftsman T110. It actually belongs to my son-in-law. He had some trouble with the mower. It was sitting outside, and I think some rats got in it and chewed the wiring harness. So he took it somewhere to have it fixed, and they kept it forever. It sat outside, and so once they got the wiring harness situated on it, I think they went to crank it and it wouldn't run. Turns out there was water in the fuel system or something, so they had to fix all that, and it was a big deal. So it's kind of had, it's pretty bad luck with this mower. But why I've got it is after he got it back, he was cutting and he said it just stopped moving. Said something was squealing and pouring smoke out of the bottom. So I got up on the lift, was looking at it, and let me see if I can show you underneath here. Okay, so up in there, yeah, there's no good way. Right there, the drive pulley. Somehow the belt managed to jump from the bottom to the top and get wrapped under the secondary belt that actually drives the rear. I tried everything, couldn't get it out, so I wound up having to just cut it, and here's what we have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and replace that, but I'm going to drain all the fluids out of it because it's got to go up on its side. So let me get set up, and the first thing we're going to do is take the deck off. When I get that off, I'll bring it down and drain all the fluids. But give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so there's a few, taking the deck off simple, there's a few clips here. There's one here, and there's one just like it on the other side. There's also one in the center and one at the front of the deck that we'll get to in a second. But let's go ahead and get this one out. That really just, okay, we'll worry about that later. Alright, now we got this one in the front. I'm going to go to the other side and get it. Alright, we'll come back to that one. Let's get that one out of the middle. So, like I said guys, there's another one on the other side, and then I gotta get that one out of the front, and then we'll get the belt loose from the front pulley, and everything should slide right out. Let me get those other two clips out, and we'll bring you back in. Alright guys, so I got it up on its side, and you can actually do this from the top, but I wanted to flip it up so you could see what we're doing. The belt is obviously already off of it because I had to cut it, but if you were taking it off, you would need to do these steps, which is first of all taking this off. It's held on, the other side just pops in a hole, but this side is held on with a 1/2-inch bolt. And you would have to take this off also. So you're going to take this out, which is a 5/8, sorry. Take this off, this whole pulley setup will slide down, and when we thread it back in, you'll see you have to have it threaded on here for it to slide inside of your guards. But let's get that done, and we'll thread the belt through, and we'll set it back down and then go from the top so you can see. Alright, I'm going to have to switch over to air, guys. Give me a second. Alright, now we got something to work with. Guys, it helps with this particular step if you actually turn the air compressor on. Give me a minute. Alright, let's try it again. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and feed the belt through over that. Wrap it around the pulley. Now, if you notice on this pulley, there's a keyway made into it on the inside. So, you got to make sure that lines up here. There's only one way it'll go. Just gotta find it. There we go. Keep that outside. Should slide right back up in there. And that's that. So now let me get it flipped back up, and we'll go out through the top. Sorry, I'll show you how to get it on the back pulley, because the way it is, let's see if I can show you here. So the top pulley, I don't know how well you can see it, is what actually drives the tires. The bottom pulley is where that drive belt needs to go. So you can't come at it from the top, so that pulley has to come off, and then this belt has to come off. We can put our main drive in, and then put the top out together. Like I said, let me get at the top, and we'll get after this part of it. Alright, so I got the battery cables pulled loose, and there's this little retainer here. Take the battery out. Let's see if I can get you down in here and show you. So, the first thing we got to do is get that pulley off so that we can get that secondary drive belt off and get the main belt to, let me find it, that pulley. So let me get the necessary tools and get in there. I believe that's a 7/8 if I'm not mistaken. But let me get that off and we'll see what we got. Alright guys, so basically what I did, I got the pulley off right there, and I just kind of slid it over so that I could get that top belt off and out of the way. And then I came over the top, and the reason I'm going over this now is because it's almost impossible to show you on camera while I'm doing it. There's just too much going on in that little hole for you to see anything. But take the top belt, slide it out of the way, and then just, you know, kind of pull it over like this. Slide your top belt under it. I'm sorry, the belt that goes on the bottom, slide it under it and just work it down through the guides there. And it's on now, so I've just got to get everything bolted back up and see if I can get it. Oh, and also one thing I forgot to mention, that spring you see hanging there, that runs back here to the corner, and it keeps tension on the there's a tensioner bracket under there, so that also has to come off, so you'll have room to work the stuff loose. I forgot to mention that. And if you release the clutch, it takes all the tension off that spring, so you can get it right off. Now when you put all this stuff back together, you're going to want to have the clutch engaged, and then when you put the spring back on, just disengage the clutch. But anyway guys, like I said, there's a lot going on in here in this little small space, so let me get it back together, and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when we're done. Alright guys, so she's all back together. That was it was not fun. I did not enjoy that at all. But we got it, so let me the right thing to do would probably be to test it now, make sure everything's lined up and good to go, but what fun would that be? I'm going to put it all back together. I'm going to get this in, get it back up on the lift, get the deck under it, and we'll back it down and see what we got. Alright, give me a second guys. Alright, she's ready. No, she's not ready. Alright, let me get a clips back in the deck and get that belt hooked up on the front and all that. We'll get it back together and get it down and see if we fixed it or if we broke it worse. Alright, be right back. Alright, so she's back together, I think. Let's I didn't realize, I just talked to him, he said this thing's been sitting for 7 or 8 months, so I don't know if the battery's dead or if the gas is bad, but let's see what we got. Okay, she moves. Alright, so here's my advice. If anybody ever asks you to put a drive belt on that, punch them in the throat. That was not fun. I did not enjoy it, but it's done. So appreciate you hanging out with me. I fumbled through it. I've never done one before. Probably go a little smoother the next time, but I can't imagine it would be any more exciting the next time. But anyway, hopefully you got something out of it. If nothing else, I learned that that's the last one I'm going to do. But again guys, I appreciate you taking the time hanging out with me. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good night, guys.